Thank you everyone for commenting and giving your recommendations. I am so happy to be interacting with all of you in the comments. Well, the previous video did pretty well, so this Slaaneshi Heretic is back with another set of 5 books that I listened to recently. So the list of books this time is Eisenhorn, Malleus, Urdesh, Rinswell, Hell's Reach, and Fulgrim. So same as before, I'll explain why I got the book and what I thought about it as spoiler-free as possible. Okay, so Eisenhorn Malleus. So why did I get this book? It's the second book in the Eisenhorn series, so obviously I had to continue the story. Honestly, it started strong, but it sort of peters out at the end. I like how it showed how much time has passed for Eisenhorn from Xenos, how he and the characters in Xenos, how their careers have advanced over the years. The book also introduces all these new characters and it's easy to keep track of them. And the early events in the book are also engaging and well depicted. And this is also the first time I get to see how metal as fuck the Cadians are and why people like them so much. So that's definitely a great plus point for me. But the second half of the book sort of feels really rushed. Like the story drags out in story years, but it's also like described very quickly and like things just happen and stuff happens and it felt kind of weird to me. It's definitely weaker than the first book, but it's still enjoyable overall. And I'm still looking forward to getting the third book. So the next book is Urdesh. Why did I get this one? I was actually looking up the character Priot and what other books he appears in, and I found that he actually appeared in this one, Urdesh, and the follow-up book for this 2-book miniseries. So that's why I got it. In this one, I get to see in quotes, a saint and the Titan's Tower in action, which was really cool. One thing that also struck me is that whenever they say Leman Russ tanks, for a moment I was like, Space Wolf Primarch? So I googled it and it's actually just what they call the tank and not the Primarch suddenly appearing out of nowhere. It's great that all the members of the Damocles squad come back and they introduce new squads in this as well. I would like to think Damocles squad in Space Marine 2 is a direct reference to the Iron Snakes. Also, I love how the book can jump between different parts of the battle and it's still easy to follow along. I still love how it talks about how the Space Marines are just still struggling so hard to understand human emotions and body language. This one is definitely less adorable than Brothers of the Snake, but it's still super cool to see my boys in action. The next book is Hell's Reach. Why I got into this one is because the Black Templar seemed like a really popular chapter amongst the fans, so I wanted to understand why. And oh my god, this book is just so good. It's so well written. All the characters have so much personality. Even the guardsmen, the generals, they have such distinct and relatable personalities. Andre is just the best. And Grimaldus is such a sour, sassy hard ass and totally embodies all of my negative traits, ramps it up to 11, and I absolutely love it. No wonder so many people love the Black Templars. They carry their disgust for everything so openly and it makes it so appealing. There are also many points in the book where I empathized with the characters. I laughed so hard till I choked and I had to stop everything I was doing because of the intensity of the situation. And when I'm having a really bad day, I just repeat to myself for 9 days. 9 days. This book has definitely topped the charts for me in terms of my favorite Warhammer book now. I was really worried at first based on the summary that it was going to be some boring siege-based thing like Knights on a Crack where they were stuck in the warp without resources and humans rioting and it was just super depressing. But I'm glad that's not the case here. And also because I listened to the audiobook, I thought the performance was great here because there were chapters where it's just the narrator and others where it's purely Gromaldus's point of view. So the difference in performance really helped me understand the book better. And damn, Warhammer books, man, they totally know how to just introduce another chapter and be like, hey, you want to learn more about this chapter, right? I think there's something about Aaron Dembski Bowden's writing that always leaves me with a bittersweet taste in my mouth afterwards. Even with The Emperor's Gift, it was a bittersweet ending and both of them shook me to my core afterwards. I think it really gets the no one wins in war and everybody dies vibe, which is just so much more real and gritty to me. The next book is Rinswell. So why did I pick this one up? The Crimson Fists were briefly mentioned in Hell's Reach, and cause my friend who introduced me to all these Warhammer books, he really likes the Crimson Fists and Pedro Cantor, so I had to pick this one up for him. So the unfortunate thing is I got this book immediately after Hell's Reach, and it's not a bad book, but it's definitely a step down from Hell's Reach. A couple of highlights that I like from the book is I heard from videos that orcs in the tabletop are completely RNG based, and well, this book definitely portrays that super well. well. And being a chapter master is tough, man. You gotta lay down the law and there's no exceptions. And there's like one point in the book which was like, whoa, that's harsh. But I guess that's part of the job. And successor chapters are just confusing to me. They aren't like each other, but they also aren't completely like the main chapters. So why split them up? I understand the law reasons, like it was because of the Horus heresy, but was there some tabletop reason for this as well? Because when I compare the Black Templars and the Crimson Fist, they feel totally different in terms of their attitudes towards like civilians, for example. I know they both like to go by Dawn's blood, but that's where the commonalities sort of end. If anyone knows the reason to this, please enlighten me in the comments. But coming back to Rincewill, I thought the last fight was intense and amazing though. Hedro is such a badass. Throughout the whole story, he's so nice and strict and he's always very held together. But to witness his fury at the end, it's quite amazing. I love it. It's unfortunate things ended the way that they did, but I don't think my heart can take another mixed feelings ending like Hell's Reach, so I'll take it. And the last one is a recommendation from the previous episode. It's Fulgrim, and I wanted to see what it's like. Sorry, Inquisition, take me away. I don't want to like Chaos Marines because I like Loyalist Marines and how I can corrupt them. I mean, oh no, not Chaos, no. This is one of those stories where you know the ending, but it's the journey that makes the book engaging. And even though the writing is very sophisticated, the book is essentially you don't stick your dick in crazy. I also didn't expect so many Primarchs to appear in the book, and everyone treats them like they're a celebrity, constantly proud, wanting to cry, being compelled to kneel, or straight up peeing their pants. I definitely look forward to learning more about the 30k era because of this. There's also a quote from one of the characters that totally sums up why I like the Warhammer 40k setting. It sets the loins on fire from the sheer maleness of it all. I also like to draw, and I'm a bit of a hobbyist artist myself, so I can totally understand the pursuit of perfection, the frustration of not being able to adequately portray what you want, and comparing yourself to others. So I totally get the aspect of the story and the kind of madness that is part of the pursuit of perfection. But yeah, I mean, in the end, I don't really know how to feel about this book. It definitely has more sexy scenes than any of the other Loyalist books I've listened to so far, and I had to stop myself from listening to it publicly because I was grinning like a crazy person. But it does become quite revolting by the end of it. Some of the other books that I have on my reading list or my wish list is The First Heretic, No Fear, and Betrayer. And some of the other recommendations from the previous video includes The Infinite and the Divine, which sounds like a really fun book and it's recommended a lot in other videos, so I'll definitely check it out. Oaths of Damnation. This sounds super cool, very not Codex Astartes approved, so I'm all here for that. Another set of books is Horus Rising, False Gods, and Galaxy in Flames. But oh man, the Horus Heresy series is so intimidating for me. If anybody else has any other recommendations, super open to hearing them as well. But I need more sexy recommendations, okay? Well, let's see if the YouTube Chaos Gods will bless this video with similar views as the previous one, and you can hear more from your friendly Slaaneshi Heretic again.